So welcome everyone, have a seat. We have a lot of guests today. I'll kind of go through real quick to welcome Lee. I'm terrible with last names.
Smith.
Bill Reese, Marty Manning, Hopewell Darneal, Elizabeth Dayon, our town manager Don
Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Casper the Friendly Ghost, Tim Becker, Deb Brucini, Nils Johnson, Becky Byers, David Hertzy, our guests of course, Justin McIver, and I'm going to let Justin ultimately introduce all of his partners with him today. Shep, Anna Henderson, thank you, Tyler from Lake Region TV, who's here to record today. Just a little plug. Tyler's been an amazing, at the helm of Lake Region TV. So I encourage everybody, if you haven't, look for it on YouTube. You can follow it. It's on a couple of the local cable channels. And joining us live, we have guests Kim McCoubry and Charles Phillips. Welcome. I saw Sally Dunning. Love you, honey. Joining us, and then George Claver is one of our members who's recovering from his new hip surgery. Welcome, George. And then Madeline is a friend of Rotary. Welcome, Madeline. So thank you, everybody. Skip, would you like to introduce our
I'm happy to. I moved to Maine 18 years ago, and one of the first persons I met was Justin. I moved here not knowing if I wanted to build or whether I wanted to buy, and Justin had built a house. It was, I think, his first house that he built that I looked at. And so he and I have gone back and forth together for a long, long time. He's a good friend. Enjoy. I asked him if he'd come and update us because we all go around town and we see all this stuff going on and we say, what's going on? And is the hotel going to have a ballroom? And what about a swimming pool? And all of these kinds of things. And I thought, what better than just get it firsthand from the man. Justin, you're up. Oh, and I told him he didn't have to put together a presentation. He could just stand here and answer your question. So.
Justin McIver, thanks for having me. Really appreciate the opportunity to come and appreciate everything the Rotary does. So you guys do great work, and it's great for the community of giving back and making sacrifices that you do, so thank you. I have a few people here with me today. I've got my general manager, Ed Akers, always supported and super big part of everything we do. David Hersey is going to be here to talk for a minute about Schoolhouse. He's our intern head of Bridgton Schoolhouse. And we have Anna Henderson, the director of sales for Olympia Hospitality, which is our management company for the hotel. So she'll be able to say something too for a minute. So I know we have a lot to cover in a short period of time. Try to do my best. And then, of course, answer your questions, any questions that you might all have. But when I started Maine Eco Homes, it was never about just building houses, right? Over time, it became about building community. And we've partnered with the community, and that is our centerpiece right now, is what is best for Bridgton and what is best for the area in every decision that we make. I started realizing the potential that Bridgton had a long time ago, and I grew up. My father had a shop next to the old Laverdiers, and I used to grow up as a little kid coming to Bridgton, and so it was a very big part of it. Grew up in Denmark, and moved to Bridgton in 7th grade, but I started realizing that there's a lot of opportunity in these rural towns like Bridgton, and they just need people willing to invest into the long term of community, and not just financially, but emotionally. And we've tried to ask ourselves, as a team of Maine Eco Homes, what would it look like to have the best town in Maine, right? To create one of the best small towns to live, to work, to raise our families and children, and to come and visit. And every project that we're working on, whether it's music, housing, hospitality, education, community spaces, it's part of the bigger vision that we're working on. And I truly believe deeply in Bridgton. I care deeply about Bridgton and the community. We want thoughtful growth, it's very important. And we want the town to thrive long-term, right, for future generations, our children, our grandchildren. So every project that we do connects together in some way. So Maine Eco Homes is the foundation of everything that we do. Our custom home building is the foundation, it's where it all started. And we have a design build approach with Maine Eco Homes, where clients come to us and we help them design their house and as well as build it. And we have a focus on quality craftsmanship, customer service, energy efficiency, and building homes that people truly love, and supporting local trades and jobs at the same time. Custom homes taught us something really important, that people are craving authenticity and quality and a connection to place. And that mindset eventually expanded beyond homes, right into the hospitality, education, and community. We were very proud as a team to win the Governor's Award in '24 for Business Excellence of Rural Revitalization. We were nominated and selected, and it was a community win. It takes a village to do everything that we do, from the townspeople to the community to everybody involved. It takes a village to have a special community. So everybody is together and doing everything that we're doing, indirectly or directly. Hotel Bridgton, that's probably the project I get asked most about right now. Probably the most questions you have. But it's a 65-room boutique hotel in the downtown. Everything has been very thoughtfully thought through over the years and carefully designed and articulated, and a lot of help from a lot of people, experts. We had opposition that helped us tremendously. Be grateful for that, because it made for a better project, and the timing. And the location was very carefully selected in the downtown to create the walkability to the downtown connectivity. And we are on Stevens Brook, and right now you might see that we're building the trail. We met with Matt Marcotte from Lunaca Land Trust and Kyle Warren, who's done all the other trails for Pondicherry Park and the open space. And we hope to meet with the town on this and start creating or help revitalizing the Stevens Brook Trail. And this is kind of the head of that trail. And it's coming out really special. I think the guest experience coming is going to feel that experience that you feel in Pondicherry Park here as well, connecting from the dam bridge to our footbridge, and eventually hopefully connecting to Pondicherry Park. And Matt from Lunaco was talking, maybe there's 3 phases that we do, but one from the hotel to the Queen's Head pub that will also connect to Pondicherry, but then from there down to behind Food City, the town has open space down there, so maybe that's a phase 2 to continue the trails and parks. And then phase 3 from there down to Long Lake. So it'd be great. It's like, I think, a 2-mile trail that Peter Lowell started and created. And I've been out with Peter multiple times on the trail, and he's really excited about trying to revitalize this, because when we took over, the trail was very grown in, and it's tough to maintain, but I remember walking through some of the people in town and showing them when we were developing the Queen's Head pub building, and people didn't realize how much the river presence the river had. Everybody turned their back to it. Back in the day, they didn't, right to the mills, but then it kind of just turned their back, and the front side was the Main Street, right? But there's a front side to the riverside too. Every building has a front side. Every side is a front. So we're utilizing that. It's going to create a great guest experience as well. So walkability is important. It'll also help support downtown businesses and year-round tourism and creating jobs. But the goal was never just to create another hotel, right? This is an intentional project that's all about Bridgton. We have designers from Boston and all this, and it took them a while to understand. It's like, oh, this is a beautiful piece of artwork. Well, I know, but I want Bridgton artwork. This is all about Bridgton, right? We met with the Historical Society, Mike Davis, We have the first fire hydrant that was ever created in Bridgton on the property, and we're preserving that and doing a memorial around that. It's the last one standing. And we have, it used to be the former Dowell's Mill. We have dowels going all in the hotel to pay homage to the history of the Dowell Mill. We have local artwork. Mr. Hersey's artwork is in our guest rooms of Pleasant Mountain and the Dunning Bridge. We'll have some QR codes too on there that can send our guests to those locations. It'll be an informational and educational gateway to the Four Seasons, to the Lake region in all seasons. We're gonna, Matt Marquette and I talked about having a trail map and all about the trails and the mountains inside the hotel, and local gallery, local artwork. We can have also lakes environmental, all about the lakes and protecting the lakes, because people that come here, right, it's going to be important for them to know all of that. And yeah, year-round tourism, I think, people have said this is the most exciting thing because it's going to really help the downtown businesses and support year-round here, as well as Ski Town, and be really known as the Four Seasons, and sustain the longevity of local businesses. It's very hard to survive here in the winter and off-season, so hopefully this will help that as well. And creating jobs, we'll have 25 to 30 new jobs that this, and I think we just started posting for our first job positions, and we're creating a space in the downtown right now. The old C&J River space is going to become a remote office for Hotel Bridgton right now. That's where we'll do hiring. That's where the community can come in and interact, and you can book your stay, you can learn about the hotel. So we're going to take one of those spaces and just be kind of a retail presence. There'll be about 3 to 4 people working out of there, the general manager, the sales and marketing. So that's exciting. And it'll have an indoor pool, which is nice, heated. I'm going to keep it really warm. We'll have a lounge bar, kind of cafe sunroom area that overlooks the waterfalls. Beautiful. We have hand-created canoes going on the walls. So everything is Maine-based in here. We're trying as much as we can. We have oars that were made up in Orono, Maine, Shaw and Tenney oars that will be hung on the wall. That'll be a nice feature art piece. We're going to have a fitness room to be a fitness space. People ask about a meeting room. We don't have one yet. We're going to have in the sunroom we can meet a little bit, but we plan to go back once the hotel to really see what the community needs, but to have a meeting space for the guests. Hopefully in the lower level with maybe a game room for the children, and then possibly a spot where you can get a massage at the hotel. But that'll be a phase 2. And just the quality. I brought Ralph from the Pleasant Mountain through it, and he was just blown away. And I brought a lot of people through it, and anybody else that wants to go through, I'd be happy to take you through. But Ralph's like, we'll have shuttles. I'll shuttle from here to the ski mountain, which is awesome. He's like, well, we can store their stuff, and so I think that'll be really cool to be able to pick up our guests and bring them up to go skiing. But that's their biggest challenge is rooms for the mountain. And the previous owner, Chet, was very supportive of it because they need rooms. So that'll be a great stay and play. He said we'll have packages in the room where they can scan it and get discounts to the ski mountain, which is cool. So they'll be a big partner in this as well. And I think that'll connect. Bridgton is more of a ski town too than just a summer town, because it's kind of out west. We need to bring the ski town into the downtown. I think this is going to help bridge that gap. But we're not building it for today either, right? So the quality level is built for Bridgton's tomorrow, where Bridgton's going. So it's going to be an elevated guest experience, which we're excited about. But there were definitely a lot of moments where it was easier to not do it and to stop the project. Permitting, construction costs, it's just everything is a challenge. But it was all for the right reasons, and honestly, we feel that it's going to be a very impactful project to help sustain this area. And some people have said it's compared to a grocery store, it's compared to the ski mountain, as big as that for our area and for future generations. But we believe projects like this are really good for a rural community. We need that. We're a tourism community. And we need a place for our guests to stay. So yeah, we're just trying to raise the ceiling of what a Maine town can be. And we're listening to a lot of people. It says we're the messenger. People come in and, you know, hey, we need this, hey, we should do that, we should do, you know. So it's a lot of ideas from other people as well. And like I said, it takes a village. It takes a community to come together. But we still want to protect, right, what we already have. And that's really important to us, where we can preserve. And everything that we do ties to history. Every project we're doing, we're meeting with the town, we're meeting with the Historical Society to make sure history is not forgotten about, because we are history. And that's really important to us. You can't save every building, you can't do it. The health part of being in these old structures are not good for human beings, as well as today's modern businesses and ADA accessibility. So we're doing our best we can. But sometimes we recreate the schoolhouse. We try to recreate that. We met with the Historical Society. What does a schoolhouse look like? How can we make it look like it was the building that was there? So there's a lot of careful intent that goes into it. Downtown, the 261 Main Street, the new bakery, you know, we replicated what that building used to look like. And we actually preserved the old window from the old building. We took it out and put it in there, so that is paying homage to the past. So we deeply care about preserving the character of this town and the charm of this town. Music on Maine. Actually, before I stop there, Anna, do you want to come up and,
oh, sure.
or you can just say a couple.
Or I can say right here.
Yeah, say a couple words about Hotel Bridgton.
Hi, yes, I just want to say thank you for inviting me. Thank you everyone here for being so welcoming and having me here. I work with Olympia Hospitality, so we are the partner company managing the property once it opens. Olympia Hospitality is based out of Portland, Maine. So our owner was born and raised in Bangor. I'm born and raised in Maine. My daughter is an alpine skier for high school, and she races at Pleasant Mountain, so I'm very used to this drive. But we are very, very excited to see this town grow, this community grow, and create lasting relationships and partnerships with all of you. So I encourage you all to reach out to me if you have any questions. I can maybe send my email address and contact information to you, Ann, to share, and then you can all reach out. But also, Hotel Bridgton is a live microsite, so you can go on there and submit inquiries or questions as well. But yeah, we're very excited. So this will be our 16th property in New England out of our 45-ish that we have. So we're also very excited to see that grow within our backyard. Thanks for everyone for having me.
Thank you.
So yeah, you can go to hotelbridgton.com and sign up for the newsletter as well and receive updates. And I think the pre-booking is starting soon too. And everybody asks me, how's the project going? The project's going great. It's a lot to hand build a project like that, so it takes time. And the trades don't have a ton of resources, right? So we're doing our best we can. And they say, when's it going to open, right? So I'll answer some of those questions. So right now, it's looking like December is what we're going for right now to start the ski season. We're hoping to catch some of the summer, fall, but it'll be what it is. And I think if we were to open in the busiest time of the year, I think it'd be very challenging too for staff. So it's kind of nice to do a softer opening and ramp up for next summer as well.
You can submit, if you are requesting dates or wondering, you can submit that. There's a waiting list that it will go into if you have friends or family or yourselves are looking for it.
So let's see, what's next is, I'm sure you got questions about that, but music on Maine. So one thing that we realize is that communities aren't built with just buildings, right? They're built through experiences and connections. And people are saying to me, I can't wait for that to get going so we can get back together with people. In the social aspect of it, one guy came, he's like, oh, I never see my neighbors, anymore unless it's a funeral or a wedding. so other than this place. So it's really nice the unity that's coming together here and the collaboration with the town, the police department, fire department, paramedics, the town of Bridgton, everybody helps create this. And it's really special, and it's not easy either. Very extremely hard, but it's important. And one of you said that this weekend, Spencer said this weekend is our first opening. We have the Eagle Mania, which is the world's greatest Eagles tribute band. It's going to be really special there this Saturday night, so hope to see you all there. But it's a free concert series. This is our 6th year, and there's thousands of people that attend, and the children can't wait to get back to dance and see their friends and play. And it's, these are memories for the children that they're going to remember in Bridgton, which is really cool. Having the families downtown and kids dancing and getting the businesses full and bringing revenue to the businesses, and just the positive energy, right? In the world that we live in, it's something that you can forget about everything else. That's what music does, right? So really excited, but there's something special about seeing the entire community come together in the downtown, enjoying the music and reconnecting with one another and creating memories together. So, and it couldn't be possible without sponsors. I mean, they're huge, right? They're the ones that we've got to support too, because they're the ones that make it happen financially as well to put on. So we're super appreciative of sponsors and the volunteers. You guys are volunteers. You know that, what it takes to volunteer your time. It's not easy. And we need more volunteers. David's concerned with...
We saw some breakfast, right?
Sorry? David's concerned with future volunteers, which I am too. So hopefully the schoolhouse can help with being community-centric, getting children reconnected in downtowns and connected with community. So Bridgton Schoolhouse, let's get to that. Out of everything that we're working on, this is probably the one that's closest to my heart and the most important for community. It is Montessori inspired. It's child-centered. It's all about the child. And we have small classrooms, and we are extremely passionate educators. We are enrolling now. We're going to be, our first year will be this fall. Will be the first school year. The building's almost complete. It's about maybe three weeks or so, 4 weeks out from being completed. We did a tour last night, went over very well. It's a net zero energy building, all electric. It produces as much energy as it consumes on a yearly basis. And that is important in Montessori as well, as you respect yourself, you respect others, and you respect your environment. So it's a sustainable building. And there's a need for another option for education. And I spoke years ago about it. The town is doing studies of what feels the most important thing and I don't like to say it's a weakness. I like to say it's an opportunity or a challenge for our school. These rural towns are challenging. I hear from a lot of people that would live here with the school system, and there's a lot of great stuff in the school system, but they're struggling. And let's be honest, right? We have to be honest, and that's where change can come, and hopefully this can influence some change too in our public system. I have 2 children, a 3-year-old and an 8-year-old, and I heard a lot about the public system, and I didn't realize how much challenges there was until my daughter went to school, and every day is a challenge. And it's unfortunate because they're great educators, they have all the good intent. It's just too institutionalized. And if not us, then who, right, to help fix this? And so we are doing it for our own children, but also for the community's children and future generations. I'm not an expert in education at all. That's why we have David. I'm just a concerned parent and a facilitator to help facilitate this. But if we want strong rural communities, long term, we have to invest in children and families. And we're just really proud of what this is going to do for the next 100, 200, future years of the community. We have a lot of natural light in the building, there's a lot of windows, but we also have triple glazed windows on the front side to reduce the sound. We've really soundproofed because in public school there's a lot of distractions, which affects learning. So Montessori is about limited distractions. This is what I'm learning from the pro over here, which, and hearing about this stuff as well. There's a lot of outdoor play, an outdoor play area, individualized attention, and building confidence and creativity in children. They say, great communities aren't built with just buildings, right? They're built by investing in children and families. And what's more important than that? Dave, you want to come up? So say something?
I can stand here. Working and building a new school is one of those most difficult tasks going. And I told Justin right away, this is not a moneymaker. Because working with children and investing in children takes time. I've had 55 years experience in independent education, and I thought I was retired. My wife tells me that all the time. But I was ahead of 6 different schools, but one of them for 3 years was a Montessori school, a big one in Massachusetts. We went from infant to middle school, 300 kids. Montessori takes time to build. It's one of those institutions that is culturally based, not just educationally. So what happens in the classroom, how it's done is almost as important as what is done. And this is a very important part of children, is learning to be respectful of each other and the environment, and also how to learn. So again, Montessori has 2 teachers per room. So we'll have 15 students in a room, max. 2 teachers. One is doing lessons with the children, the other is observing the children doing special projects. So again, it's very, very focused on the children with daily upkeeps on how children are doing. Very, very important is getting the right adults. Our teachers are going to be Montessori certified, which means they have a degree in childhood education, and then they spend another year learning to be a Montessori teacher. So these are skilled practitioners of what they do. So we've been very careful who we hire. So this is something new for the town. By the way, one of the things that usually when I walk into a town and I talk about independent education is, you're not paying any taxes. You're a nonprofit. Well, this is not a nonprofit. This is a part of Justin's business, so we'll be paying taxes. So again, we're not taking from the community. We're giving back. But even more importantly is the children. Last night, talking to the parents of the children, we have about 15 or 20 right now quite interested. We expect to be around 27 students in the first year. But they were fascinated to walk into the building and see the beautiful building. This is designed for Montessori. I worked with Justin on some of the design, space-wise. Huge classrooms, because kids don't have desks. They walk around with projects. So it has to be designed for children. Everything is this big. The bathroom switches are down here for the children. So it's all purposely designed. It's a beautiful building. And that makes a huge difference for children. So again, up and running, be very interesting. The parents are excited. The children, I'm not sure what they know yet. Because we interview every child. In fact, I have an interview at 9 o'clock. We interview every child because I want to make sure that child's going to fit the Montessori environment. That's a very important part of the conversation. But we're off and running, and again, a beautiful building, and there'll be other open houses for the public as we go along. Last night we didn't have to have hard hats, so that was a good thing, but it's getting there. So again, any questions, I'm available later.
Did you have any questions about the schoolhouse?
Yes.
What's the tuition?
Tuition $16,000.
Okay.
Okay.
And you're expecting up to 27 this year?
Right around there, maybe.
So 2 classrooms
Yeah.
with 4 teachers?
Yes, 2 classrooms, 4 teachers, and an administrator sitting at the desk, buzzing people in, because again, it's a very secure building. You have to get in through buzzes. And so, yes. And we will be having financial aid, so we're just getting that cranked up right now.
My question is, if they have a specialized degree as an educator, how are we going to procure them in this environment? Because most people that have specialized degrees, including most of the people in this room, left for their adult life and then came back.
Well, I think the key is they're attracted with the venture of a new school, being part of a team, being a pioneer. So again, what's interesting to me is people now saying, wow, that's a great place to be. It's financially sound, right? Most schools are not financially sound. So again,
I mean, most of our teachers around here have a hard time living. It's curious how we're going to.
well, I think the key is, I think the key for us is when I talk to Justin, is you got to hire the right people and pay them.
Yeah.
And also, part of that agreement is one of the teachers coming up, 28 years experience in Florida, but has family in Scarborough and Maine. But she will get some housing with Justin's apartments.
That's a great idea.
So that's the idea is to bring people into the community, get them established in the community, bring their children. A lot of faculty may be bringing their children with them. So again, the idea is you're building a community, and you got to look at it that way.
What's the intended long-term capacity?
Strategically long-term, say 7-8 years out. The plan is to go from 3-year-olds, which we're starting now. So we have a room for 3 to 6-year-olds, it's called primary. And we have a room for 6 to 9-year-olds called lower elementary. The plan is to go up to middle school. And that's strategic long-term. Because schools grow organically. You build from the bottom and they move through the system. It's sometimes hard to bring a student and a parent in if they're in a public setting and they're in 3rd grade, they may not want to move. So really you build from the bottom and you let it grow organically because Montessori is a culture also, so the kids get acculturized into that respect environment through growing up through the system. So again, long term, I think we're looking at possibly going up to 8th grade.
With 100 students, 60 students, what's this look like?
Yeah, well, each class will be about 15. So right now there are 4 rooms in the new building.
So 6 classes.
Yeah, so again, step by step, you don't want to rush it. I told Justin right from the beginning, this is a long-term commitment. If you rush it, it will fall apart. Because you'll make mistakes. You have to learn what you're doing, grow it organically. Any other questions?
We do have the building next to the building as well. That could be, if organically, if it continues to grow, that could become maybe the middle school is the building to the right.
Same traditional hours of school?
What's that?
Same traditional school hours?
Yes, traditional school hours, and 8:30 to 3, we'll have a preschool care and an after-school care available for parents. And that will be conducted by our own teachers, so it will be what we call extended Montessori. They'll be in Montessori classrooms during that care period. Long-term will be summer programs. But these are all something we take step by step as we go along and not just push it. We'll also be on the SAD 61's calendar. So the school periods will be the same, vacation periods will be the same for families who have children in both environments. And snow things and all that. So again, we're sticking as close as we can to make it easier for parents also.
We're looking at getting a bus too,
Yes.
to go to community.
One of the keys in Montessori is that children learn to work on real life problems. And one of the things we want to do is bring the children in the classrooms, say take our classes at Gallery 302. Visit different businesses, look at how work actually gets done, and then how to solve a problem with that work. So much of this is a community-based school. It's not just a building off on its own. It's a building within the community. It's a community within a community. And that's a very important element of Montessori.
And we have a lot of information on the website, bridgtonschoolhouse.org as well.
Any other questions? Thank you, Justin.
Housing and apartments, talk for a minute about that. We're done building for a little while. we're almost at full capacity. I think we have only 8 units available, which we have roughly 10 to 15 a week, and sometimes a day, of increase of housing for apartments. So we're seeing a strong demand there, and filling an important need. Many people who work with us live in the apartments. Other places, I'm sure people that you know, it's been great, but there's a need for that quality housing in the workforce housing challenges that we have, and helping younger people stay local as well. Somebody that works at Subway can afford to come into our apartments, which we're really proud about. But these also help support year-round, the economy year-round as well, the market. But thoughtful growth matters. If communities don't evolve carefully, they risk stagnation. But the challenge is balancing growth while protecting what makes towns like Bridgton special. And that's the challenge. But healthy communities need a balance of housing, jobs, education, recreation, and gathering spaces. That ties everything together beautifully. Another project that we helped launch is the Bridge Church. It's another option for people to seek help and to be a part of something. And it's going great. The Bridge Church is actually in the Stevens Brook Elementary School cafeteria every Sunday. And great people. And they are all about community and relationships and encouragement and belonging. And it's another form of medication that I think, right, is important as well, because there are a lot of struggles in community, and so that's another option that if we can just help one person's life, right, save one person, it's all worth it. But at the core of all these projects is really the same idea, creating places where people feel cared for and connected. But at the end of the day, we're not just trying to build projects. We're helping to build a stronger future for Bridgton and in the area, and for future generations to come. A place where children can thrive, and families want to stay, and businesses succeed. Visitors support the local economy, and people feel connected to one another. I really believe rural towns like Bridgton can become models for the future. That Bridgton another town could say, inspired by Bridgton. But it takes us to do that, right? And to be on that same common page, that how do we create the best community possible, the healthiest community possible, and unite, right? We have to unite and come together. We feel incredibly grateful to be a part of this community, and grateful for everyone who continues to support, these efforts along the way. And I'd be happy to answer questions. Hopefully you have questions.
I have a question for you, man. It's going to be a tough question. I was kind of curious. You're probably one of the most polarizing people in our community, and I think most of us, research will try to support a lot of your ideas. But I know that you get a lot of pushback from virtual people. Have you seen that change? Because in my 10 years of being in Bridgton, I've seen the attitude of Bridgton change as a whole. And I know that for as long as I've been here, you've been here. Have you seen more cooperation with your developments and these additions, or have you seen more resistance? I'm just kind of curious, because I feel like this town's progressed, and I think more of us are open to the schoolhouse, to the new church, I know I am, my family is, and I see a lot of people talking positively about it as compared to 10 years ago, especially when the hotel being built. Yeah. It was a big complaint. Yeah. Has people been more involved and more happy for you? Because they should be. You bring a lot to this community, and your family offers us a lot.
It's a great question, Nick, and thank you. It hasn't been easy, for sure. but it's been for the right reasons.
I think so.
And that's, really important. And we have a ton of support, a ton of encouragement. And we just, at the end of the day, we just try to do the right thing every day. And we rest our hats on that we are about this community 110%. And you're gonna get it in any town. Every town changes hard. And it was probably one of the most impactful things. I was walking into Beth's Cafe for breakfast, and a woman came up to me, I won't say her name, but she said, Justin, and she's been meaning to see me. She said, I just want to tell you I'm sorry about the hotel. I said, well, thanks. She said, I was wrong. And I was like, wow, for her to say that to me. And she apologized 3 times. I said, don't worry about it. I said, I appreciate that. It means a lot. But she said, it looks beautiful in there. And she said, it really fits. Amazing. And I said, not everybody understands, right, or sees the same vision. That's okay, right? But I think in the end, I think the winds that change in here are true intention for this community.
That's good to hear. I know they say if I'm not talking about you, not doing something right.
Yeah. We just keep doing our thing, and our team is just full of heart. I mean, you're not going to get any more passion and heart than our team who care for this community. And so that's what I'm really proud of what the team and everybody that's been supportive. Because again, we can't do it without the support of everybody. It takes a lot of people to just try to do great things and build a great community, revitalize a community.
Great to have you here.
Thank you, Neil.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
You're a builder, Justin, and I'm a guy who's approaching old age. I'm 85. I think Bridgton really needs a life care center. I just want to throw that out to you.
A life care?
Life care center.
That's just the second person this week that said that.
There's not a major issue.
Yeah, that and a bowling alley. I hear the bowling alley a lot too. So we do have that plan. We do have a bowling alley plan. Someday, hopefully, fingers crossed, an indoor recreation center that can bring families together, get them off their iPads, TV screens, right, and get out and do some bowling for all ages. So that would be great. But
I have a question, Justin. What are you envisioning for the space kind of across from Bridgton House of Pizza? Because that's
that's the Maker's Mill project, and we collaborated with the town to see what does the town want to see here. What are we, what are you thinking? It was more of the shops. Right now, it's very hard to do business and open retail shops in downtown rural towns, and so our focus right now is the hotel, right? And then we're gonna, but we're waiting for obviously people that want to do something as well. And we've actually talked about, well, what's meant to be, we don't know. Maybe it turns into, I don't know, Music on Main location with an outdoor park. There's so many, I'm a man of faith, as well, so I just believe what's meant to be will be. And there's a plan, and we're not always in control. We just try to lead our life the right way, and the rest will take care of itself. So I don't know. I hope that, something beautiful, because it's a great spot, but we also need somebody that wants to run a business and go into there. But we've talked to some people, but nothing solid yet. So we'll see what's meant to be. It'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Any other questions?
Well, there's got to be more questions.
This is more observation. There used to be a hotel, I understand, at the top of Pleasant Mountain back in the day. I have ancestors who came up by horse and buggy and stayed there, and then it burned down, and I guess was never rebuilt, and burned down again. I don't know. So there is a tradition of having a hotel in Bridgton. I'm wondering if you know who went to that hotel and why they came, and who do you think will be coming to your hotel, and what will be the
Yeah, that's a great question.
Because most of us have houses and guest rooms and campuses, and we host our own visitors.
Yeah, I think, there was 3 hotels back when. And that's the other thing too, that I think that we forget what the real history of Bridgton is. We only see what the history of what we see. There was the 12 mill buildings. There's buildings way bigger than there are today. All that's the real history of Bridgton. Was a thriving mill town. They would come up from Portland, from out of state, to come up for the clean water and air. They'd stop in Bridgton along their way to the White Mountains. So a lot of those hotels, that was a big stopping point to get up to the White Mountain. And it still happens today. Today, obviously, we have Pleasant Mountain up there, the ski area. And we considered looking at locations outwards, but when we met with Maine Preservation, Chris Gloucester, the head of Maine Preservation, he said, Justin, 110% has to be in the downtown. He said you will siphon people away from the town and it'll break down your community. So he said, it's like pulling the post office out of your downtown. He says that you don't want to do that. So that was careful consideration, as well as the experts in the industry said that being in the center of community, you can walk to the movie theater, you can walk to shops, you come into that gathering place of a community was really important in the design and selection process. But our guests will be your family members, your friends, right? It's a second home for everybody, for all of us. And it's going to be that welcoming. I told the management company, so the number one thing is when somebody walks in, they're treated like it's your mother, your father, your brother, your sister. This is a family place that's all about Bridgton and the Lakes region area. It is not a commercial transactional place at all. This is a home. This is all of our family's second home. And I invite everybody to come to this place and be there and keep coming back, and that's the goal. So we'll have tourism. We will have people coming to visit Bridgton. We will have the summer camps. There's so much more. There's the Fabric Fair, there's Bridgton Academy. David was headmaster for 10 years at the Bridgton Academy. There's so many parent weekends, so much. We think, over the years too. People came to us, just like Bill's mentioned. That's how Hotel Bridgton was created, was people saying what Bill's saying to us. I'm not in the hospitality. I would, you know what I mean? It's like me, it'd be easier to not do it, right? But it was everywhere saying we need something. Our family, our friends, we love them coming to our house on the lake, but we don't want them to spend the night. We don't have room, or like come over during the day and then go back to your hotel room with your own bathroom. So we will get a lot of that as well.
I think it's one of the venues that we have places.
Oh, yeah.
We just got contacted by a wedding venue.
And we've also had some, sorry not to
No, please.
jump in, but we've recently attended something called Discover New England, where we met with a lot of international tour operators that bring individual families and travelers to New England, and there was an enormous amount, well, I say enormous, but this does take a couple of years to kind of build this, the idea of Bridgton more, but there was an enormous amount of interest in a small Maine community for international visitors to come and see. It's new to them, and they don't know that there's a Portland or a Bar Harbor or anywhere. We bring them to Bridgton and they're in love with the New England charm and the lakes and all of the things that this little community has to offer, local crafts and things like that are what they're looking to experience and see. So, and there's a lot domestically as well. We work a lot with groups and people that are traveling from out of state, because this is another piece that they're not experiencing. People want to learn about that. They're looking for unique experiences. They're not looking for those mass commercial experiences that you see all over the television. They want to be part and immersed into something like this. So it's exciting to see. And again, as everything, it may take a little time, but there is interest outside of just the community as well, which is exciting to see.
Yeah, I just was wondering, I love going in Queen Head's Pub and seeing the pictures that you have of the community, because I've lived here all my life, so I see the things that I grew up around. I remember the Cumberland Hotel, which is, right part of the site, I guess we have an extension of it behind it. Are you going to put any kind of pictures of the hotel and those kind of things in your interior of your building?
Yes, yeah.
So that people have a feel for where Bridgton has come from.
Yes, we are already collaborating with the 302 Book Gallery on that work, and Dave's been a big part of that with our interior designer. And we do plan to do some of that. I was thinking of a Rufus Porter, art piece in there as well. And we don't want to make it look too much like a museum, so we have to be very tastefully of what we do, but we do plan to put some of that in there, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yep.
Well, thank you, everybody. Justin, we just have a little token of our appreciation for you.
Oh.
So thank you.
Thank you
for coming.
Thank you so much.